Hey guys, and welcome to week 2 of the Stronger Olympic Lifting series. This series follows my training up towards my first competition of 2014, aiming for these goals in competition. You can view my program by going to the description below and clicking on that link. I had a great response from you guys from last week, a lot of questions, and I want to answer some of them right now. I'm going to address this question from Greg Crowley on the Facebook page. It has 3 question marks on the end, so it must be a matter of urgency. Hey Tyson, were you doing bodyweight rings training while you were doing this program, or did you just focus on the Olympic lifts? Yes, I was doing bodyweight training while I did this Olympic lifting program, but the Olympic lifts took priority. I was bodyweight training maybe twice a week, front lever and planche work mainly. Brian Williams asks, are you coming up with your own programming or are you following someone else's? Now this is something I should have addressed in the first week. I have included credit in the description below, but all my programs are constructed by my coach, Dr. Robert Mitchell. Nika05 asks, I can't tell, but are you holding your breath through the lift? Yes, this isn't bodybuilding. There isn't no inhale on the concentric, exhale on the eccentric kind of thing going on. You hold your breath when you're doing these heavy lifts because it creates tension in the body. Exhaling at the bottom of a squat, at the bottom of a clean, it leads to bad things. I'll probably get this last name wrong, but Patrick Pazina asks, he actually double posted, great to see your new series. How does your warm-up look like? First of all, if you ever double post again, you can get off the whole video series. I've actually posted a video of my warm-up. I always start off with a dynamic warm-up. Go to the video here, I've linked it. It's pretty simple and it hasn't changed for a long time because it works. Demonic Velocity says, why are you training with wristbands? You aren't allowed to use them in competitions, are you? And in my opinion, there is nothing more impressive than a hand-crushing grip. Well, I agree, a hand-crushing grip is very impressive. Yes, you aren't allowed to use straps in competition. Olympic lifters already have a good grip. The pull is not focused on grip. If we were hook gripping the whole time, it would distract from the exercise and what we're supposed to be focusing on. And if we did hook grip repetitively, like I did when I first started training under a coach, you'll see that it pays a massive toll on your thumb, something that you can do without. I hope that helps, guys. If you have any questions along the way throughout the series, feel free to post them in the comments section below. There's a new episode every Thursday. Subscribe to stay updated. And now let's get on with week 2. This is the start of week 2. I'm about to go in and start the program. This week it's 85% week, so 85% of our max on whatever exercise we're doing. I'm starting off with clean, which is meant to be off the blocks, but there's not really any blocks here. The reason why it would be preferred to do it off the blocks is just because it gets rid of that first pull, which uses some energy. Do that second explosive pull and catch it in the rack position paused. Pausing at the bottom negates that momentum that one would usually get, getting that bounce out of the clean. By pausing at the bottom, I literally need to use all my leg strength to pretty much front squat it up. It's worked in the past really well. Technically, if I want a 135 kilo clean and jerk, the cleans that I'm doing tonight and for the rest of the week should be about 115 kilos. I'm going to probably do 110 kilos. I'm putting myself out of my comfort zone, but I don't want to put myself in a situation where it's all strength and technique can go out the window just to get it up. I always want to be focusing on that technique side of it, so that when the time comes to go heavy, I've drilled it so much that that is the muscle memory that comes into play. Good technique, not bad technique. I'm getting in there now to start week 2. Pre-workout today was C4 by Cellucor. I found the clean pause at 110 kilos surprisingly easy. I thought I got the elbows around pretty efficiently and only really struggled on the last rep of sets 3 and 4. I do bend my arms a little too early in anticipation of getting under the bar. Ideally they should be straight right up until I go to get under the bar. If I didn't mention already from last week, I have this forearm injury. It's odd because the only thing that makes it flare up is doing this exercise or similar, yet the only time I don't feel the pain is actually during the exercise. So the irony is pretty intense with this one. Now usually I would do jerks on a block so you can prepare the bar, but see the gym I'm at, I need to be doing negatives, so do the jerk and then lower it back down and then go again. And it's that jolt combined with the negative that is just ruining that injury. That night I was in a lot of pain between sets. Regardless of that negative impact on the exercise, this actually felt really strong. It was at this point, about halfway through the workout, that I started to take NDS's Core Fuel, which is an intra-workout. Recommended that you start sipping it halfway through. What you can see is the second set. For back squats, I found the first set the toughest. After that, the sets were still tough, but definitely doable. There's not much I would say to critique it. I like that I'm keeping my chest up, keeping the butt down, pushing the hips through. If I could squat heavier with this same technique, I'd be very happy. The weight stays the same throughout the program because this is a drilling exercise. It's slightly above your maximum weight, and you're getting efficient at pulling that, so that when you actually go to do that maximum weight for clean and jerk or snatch, you've drilled the pull consistently enough to be comfortable at that maximum weight getting a full extension, which is going to set you up with the best possible advantage at getting under the bar and making a successful lift. Post-workout tonight was Pro Antium by the Ronnie Cole series. Hey guys, I'm actually nowhere near the gym right now. I've just gotten in the car park, finished work, but I wanted to record this because I just had a thought about my training. Now, you've heard me before say I'm keeping the weight quite modest. I think I could have used better wording when I'm describing the word modest. Now that I've thought about it, modest kind of puts across that I'm picking a weight that I know is going to be easy for me. To me, when I say modest, what I'm trying to get across is I'm doing a weight that is far below what I would expect of myself, or far below the best weights I've ever moved at that percentage. So when I say modest, I don't by any means say that I'm keeping it very light and it's not a challenging workout for me. Since I first started, which was 5 workouts ago, it's not even that much, but since I first started, I've been really tested. Pre-workout was C4 by Cellucor. I also had an intra-workout, GNC's BCAA 5000. I'm loving this. I went into this intimidated by 90 kilos for snatch for triples, and it ended up being extremely easy for me. If you achieve over your expectations, I think that's one of the best achievements you can make. Ideally, once I do the pull, I would like to be able to get under straight into that bottom position. As you can see, I'm catching it slightly high and riding it down. I don't think it's too much of a problem. I think it's just a lighter weight. As it gets heavier, I'll hit that bottom position almost straight away. It also means that it's relatively light for me as well if I can catch it so high and then ride it down. Snatch balance was pretty easy for me, still keeping it at that lighter weight. As I mentioned last week, I would just like to hit that bottom position immediately. I think it's very much like the snatch. It's not going to happen till it gets heavier. At least it means it's light. I'm pretty happy with the first 2 reps, but after that you can see the elbows start to drop for every rep I do after that. Once again, as with the other exercises, this was not as hard as I thought. So you can probably predict I was very ecstatic after this workout was done, because everything I was intimidated by, I smashed it. Something clicked for me with the pulls, and that is to just stand up straight. I know that there is a lot of hip involvement in the pulls, because there's also a lot of hip involvement in the clean and jerk and snatch, but I think it was making me throw the hips into it too much, which was throwing the bar out of alignment. Remember, it should go straight up. So for this snatch pull, I kept it in my head to just stand straight up with the bar. Post-workout was Pro Antium by the Ronnie Cole series. You'll recall last week I felt really sick during the 3rd workout. Today kind of feels the same. I think it's because I'm been getting up already for the last few days for work, so I start to get fatigued and tired. There was a big traffic jam on the way home. You may already know it's about an hour drive home. Took about 2 hours this time. Really annoying. So the pre-workout that I take to try and avoid micro sleeps and to get into the zone for training, I feel has gone straight through me. I've got my BCAAs to try as well, so I'll be sipping that during the workout. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I feel the clean and jerk that I've got coming up for the night, 110 kilos it should be. I'll have to check that with the program, but I'm pretty sure it is. Seems a bit intimidating, but will it be like day 1 and 2 of this week where I surprise myself a lot? I'm pretty keen to go in because I'm already like an hour behind, so see you in there, hopefully for a surprisingly good workout. Pre-workout today was C4 by Cellucor. I had a during workout once again, BCAA 5000 by GNC. I've had a few questions about this, so I just thought I'd film one of my warm-up sets and show my feet positioning for the clean and jerk. When I read the program, I was stoked it was only 2 reps today. Overall, I didn't feel the clean and jerk was as smooth as I would like it to be, although it may be due to fatigue and not necessarily my technique. Taking into account the percentage for this week and looking at the weight I did for push press, that means that my max is about 105 kilos, which I've already done before. I've done 110 kilos. I filmed it from a side view today to show how you get your head through for any overhead movement so that the bar aligns straight down with the midfoot. The back squats were more challenging for this workout than they were for the first. My knees hurt just a little bit. My main concerns was minutely relaxing at the bottom of the squat more than I should to achieve that bounce. Relaxing leads to bad things, guys. That's how I got my worst injury, which was a spasm in the spina erector, and that was from relaxing at the bottom of the squat. You always want to be tight, full of breath. The other big issue for tonight was getting the hips through. This isn't the ideal angle to see how the hips are working, but I wanted to see depth more importantly. I feel like I lost a bit of hip extension, so I lost a bit of power due to the focus on standing up straight, so I think I'm just finding a balance here. I rested a bit too long between sets because I started talking to this guy at the gym. Post-workout was the Chocolate Pro Antium by Ronnie Cole series. Pre-workout was C4 by Cellucor. Training on Sunday today to round out week 2. The end of a week where I felt very strong, unexpectedly strong. Starting off with muscle snatch today at 50 kilos. Prior to this I did the bar, then I did 40 kilos. This was meant to be 5 reps, ended up being 6 reps. Generally, and take this as a note for yourself, if you forget how many reps or sets you've done, always do more. Never do less. Also, if you do mess up, and you actually do one extra than you were meant to, you've done more work. You've done more volume. Better for you. The muscle snatch here does not look as straight as I'd like. I'm watching the hips and the bar path working together, and I think it could be straighter. I've decided to assume my max for power snatch is 100 kilos. I feel it should be higher than that, but the most I've ever power snatched is 95 kilos. So I think it's smart to meet somewhere in the middle. Let's say the 100 kilo mark. Trouble today was locking out the arms. I'm spreading the feet a bit too wide. I'm thrusting the hips. I'm throwing the head back and pulling under. It's not realistic for snatch at a heavier weight. This exercise, like I said before, is just so hard to not do that bounce. There should be no movement from the bottom position. The only strength generated is from your shoulders. I went 50, then down to 45. I kept missing the last rep. If I miss something more than twice, generally I should drop the weight, but I was in denial here because the weight is not heavy and I couldn't get that last rep, so I went for 45 again. I got it with a different approach. I went faster. The lower body came in again though during the last rep. The main positive from this exercise is it's something new, so it's going to stimulate different muscles. You're going to get the central nervous system to coordinate in a different way. It'll make me a more efficient lifter, and for now it gives a really good rear delt pump. That's the bodybuilder in me. Here's a front view of the elbows. Biggest problem is my chest caving in, so I've got to focus on keeping the chest up and the elbows up. Watch how they drop on the ascent. When I get close to failing, and even in my mind when I think I'm going to be failing, I picture someone spotting me. Friggin' dork, eh? Well, not really, because see, I used imagery to get the set, so I'm already one up on someone that chose to fail. Do whatever it takes to get the rep, I think. I think ideal positioning would show that my butt should be a bit lower in this start position. However, how it feels right now feels really good for the snatch, the power snatch and snatch pulls, so I'm going to stick with this. Post-workout was Pro Antium by the Ronnie Cole series. That's week 2 over. This was an incredibly strong week. I loved it. Next week is going to be 80%, so the same as week 1, but now that that metaphoric rust has worn off, I'm going to be upping the weights. So it's going to be the same percentage, but heavier, because that's where I'm aiming to go. I'll see you guys for week 3 next Thursday. I'm also not sure if you can notice, but my hair has reached new heights. In the literal sense.